Hi, this is an introduction to what we're calling basic Moodle organization. I'm not going to say it's basic, but it's not advanced either. So some things that were basically feedback from the spring of 2020. And really a lot of the feedback was about Moodle organization. Many of us have what we all consider an organized course. And I'm not going to dispute that although we had them organized in a myriad of different ways, they were all organized. And to us, they made sense. But the problem was that when you're a student going to 8 different courses, or 7 or 6, and they're all organized differently, even if they're organized well, it becomes confusing to the parents and to the students. So there's some things that we want everybody to have the same to make at least the basic organization and navigation of all the Moodle classes feel similar enough that they're not confusing. For that, we made this video and we added some features to Moodle, and we're publishing a Moodle rubric that is still a work in progress. In fact, if you're watching this as part of the Moodle organization course, after you watch this video, the rubric will be the next thing down on it. And if you click on it, you'll make your own copy so that you can use that to evaluate your own course. It's really a self-assessment rubric to see if some of these things are done. And some of them are not right now in my class, because when we did it, I didn't use my class as a guide. I just thought of things, and like I said, it's an online document that multiple people are collaborating on right now. So let's get started. The first thing in the rubric, and I'm looking at it over there, is the table of contents and overall course organization. Now, the table of contents is new to this version of Moodle. It wasn't called table of contents before, and I've already imported it in all existing classes. So you should see on the top left-hand side of your course a table of contents, and in there it will have the names of all the sections in your Moodle course. And so that's the first thing, is we want everyone to use the table of contents so that students can more easily navigate to a particular section. They can click on it and just be in that section of your class. I'm going to make it so I'm seeing the clean view here, so you don't see kind of a mess. So that's the first thing. Number one, that if you don't see the table of contents, you turn editing on and add the block table of contents and move it up to the top left-hand side. The reason we want it on the top left, because the top right is going to have the calendar, and we want those two things to be standard. That's the first thing. So you have the table of contents, and then that you use it. And by using it, we mean that all your sections are named. On the rubric, there is, I'm going to bring the rubric over here for a second, and even though it's a document in flux right now, you should be able to see it. Let me see, open with Google Docs so we can see it a little better. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that, where's my zoom button? There we go. So you can see on the rubric there is a baseline, effective, and exemplary. Baseline means that's what is the minimum, the bare minimum that's expected of every single course. Okay? If there is no baseline, that means you don't have to do that thing in the rubric. For instance, down here in the baseline, there is no baseline for online communication and differentiation. It's something that would be exceptional and exemplary to do, but it's not in the baseline at this point of things that you have to do. So for the baseline, no sections, I'm going to move it back over here so you can see what we're talking about, should say topic number. If you don't know what I'm talking about, good, because if you don't see the word topic 1, topic 2, topic 3 on your table of contents, it means you've named all your sections. If you haven't named your sections, then it'll say topic 1, topic 2, or week 1, week 2. We consider that below baseline because a student may not know that topic 7 is the one you're on, but they certainly know that algebraic equations is what we're talking about right now, or whatever your subject is in your course. They should know what you're talking about. They're not going to know what number it is in the Moodle course, so we want to make sure those things are named. So the first thing on there, the first baseline thing says that they are, gotta zoom out here because I can't read it, that they are clearly shows the names and there are no topic numbers on there. So that's the first thing. Now, effective says that we also aren't using the general section up top. And if I go to my whole course up here, I actually have something in it right now. I have this hardware online in the top thing. And it says on effective top general section has little to no content. If you've got a bunch of stuff in there, that means the students have to scroll past that every single time they want to get to the real content of your course. That's not where we should be putting things. Maybe one thing like this, actually I'm going to move that, but that one thing isn't distracting. If I scroll down in my course, you don't notice it. If I go to a specific chapter, that one little button is up there, but nothing else. So effective is little or no, and that the course sections are broken up by chapter subject, chapter course subjects, or chapters. What we don't want to see on the table of contents is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. That is far too much information to have in one section, and that's one of the things that confuses students when they have a huge long list. And I've been to some of the classes that it's that long. I mean, you scroll down to get to where we're actually at. And if you have it broken up a little bit and you know we're on chapter 4 and you click on chapter 4, there's only so much scrolling you can do in that one chapter. So we like them broken up for effective by some kind of subject area breakup of yours, right? Math teachers might do it by chapter or by theme. English teachers might do it by the work we're working on. You know, maybe we're reading To Kill a Mockingbird or whatever. How you break it up is up to you. The fact that you should break it up makes your course effective. Okay. Exemplary means they're broken up into even smaller logical section that have a definitive learning goal or target. In other words, it's even smaller so that it's really, really easy for students to see where they are and what relates to the current learning goal. I have mine by chapter right now. Mine would be in the effective, not in the exemplary, because I have, as we see on this motherboard section, there's a lot of information in one area. It's still effective, but exemplary would be even breaking that down more so that it's easier for students. And I'll be honest, mine used to be even bigger. If you see over here, you see chapter 4, the motherboard, chapter 4B. CPUs, I've already broken that one up once. I should probably break it up again because there's so much information. It incorporates those two chapters are an entire quarter. So I could break it up even more. So that's the table of contents idea on the rubric, is that you make the navigation easier to go directly to where you're at. And if you don't know, you can highlight sections. Right now, my course introduction is not highlighted. I thought I had that highlighted. I'm going to go and highlight it. If you've never done that before, the section you're on, you can go to and say highlight, and then you can see it just turned a different color. So visually, if a student comes to the course and they see all these chapters, they know the one that we're on is the one that's highlighted, and that's what that's for. So students can easily get to where they want to. The next thing on the rubric, so that's the first thing on organization, breaking those things up. By the way, if you only have a couple sections and you need to add more, you turn editing on, you go down to the bottom of your course, and it says add topics. So if I click add topics, I can add any number up to 52 topics there at a time. So I could add 2 or 3 and then move them up to where I want them to be so that I can more easily move things around. The other thing I would say along with this, along with the section areas or topic areas, is that we shouldn't be able to see areas that are not or we haven't covered yet. So obviously I should have, at this point, which I haven't gone and done, I should hide this non-traditional instruction one. We're not in that at all, right? So that topic shouldn't be one, and you can see everything just got grayed out. That shouldn't be one that my students can see at all. So that when they come into my course and we start out, it's just the course introduction. So in the topic areas, the second part of the rubric is the topic areas themselves. A baseline is those should only include activities and resources pertinent to that section. If you've got old stuff that you haven't used forever, either delete it or make a section that says old stuff and drop it down there so that it's out of the way for both you and your students. The other thing is in those topic areas is they shouldn't have anything visible that it's not time for them to see yet. And we talked in the Moodle Flow videos about making that happen automatically, or you can unhide them as you go. But if you've got things that you're not going to do for a couple weeks, in that topic section, it's confusing to students. So why have it visible until it's time to address that? So only things that are pertinent in the topic areas, and only things that are viewable that it's time or you have done in the past. In the effective area, all we really added there is the use of labels to break things up. This is a label with a line there that just breaks out other information in that section. Instead of just having a line of stuff, using labels and pictures and graphics and colors and font, draws their attention to the different areas and makes it easier for them to find. And that's why that's in the effective section. The last thing in the exemplary section adds graphics and color and video to the same topic to more easily define and find things. Again, just a list, especially one that you haven't even indented or tabbed anything, makes it really, really hard for students to find the things in your course. I'm going to go back to clean view again. Should just leave it there. So that when they come in there, that area, you could see there was a bunch of junk, but now those things are broken out and it's easier for them to find things in a given section. So that's the second part of the rubric on organizing your class. The the third one I haven't even done, which I'm going to switch right now. It says the course overview section. This topic includes classroom teacher contact, information, classroom rules, and the syllabus. A lot of teachers threw it all up top, and the students don't look for it every class. It's just kind of in the way. So put that in your course overview section, and I'm calling that introduction, but because that's what we're going to call it, I'm going to change the name of mine. So right now here it says course introduction. All I have to do is click on that, and we're going to call it course overview. I'm going to put dash introduction because on the left side all you're going to see is course overview over there once it's refreshed, and you can see it says course overview dash introduction, and that's what's in there already. And I need to add some things in there. It says I should have teacher contact information, classroom rules, and the syllabus. And on my classroom introduction, I go through that stuff, but I need to add those things at the top of the course overview so that we all have that stuff in the same place. And I'm going to make it my very top section when I do that. And there's an exemplary. It says graphics and video are used so parents and students get a better overview of the course. I actually have done that in my introduction to hardware class. I have all my things that I talk about in my class. In fact, all those things that we just said are in here, including the syllabus link, my class rules and expectation. All those things are in here in my introduction to the hardware class, but I don't have my contact information all the way up top, which I'm going to have to add to mine. So the next one is how we use assignments. And it says the baseline is all assignments and grades are in the online gradebook. Everybody already knows that. That's an expectation that every assignment and the grades go into the Moodle gradebook. If you use anything else, you can duplicate the effort if you choose to. I don't know why you would, but you can. So that's the baseline. The next one is they're posted with complete directions. Some teachers, put in the name of the assignment and how many points it's worth, and that's it. Well, if it's a set of pages in the, let's say it's workbook pages in a workbook, the idea is you would have that PDF in the assignment as well. So there's no, if I'm at home, if I'm online, if I'm anywhere and I decide, oh, I want to get that homework done, I should have access to all the things that you want them to do from anywhere. So you don't just put the name of the assignment in, baseline is, and the points, but exceptional is really you put the information for it in there as well. And then exemplary adds not only that, but we add graphics, we add color, and we add video instruction to go with it. So if a student missed class and you have an assignment, they can watch you explaining what the assignment is and then have the items for the assignment and do the assignment all in one location that they don't have to go and find or come in and ask you, what did we do yesterday? That's what we'd call an exemplary activity in Moodle. And I say activity, talking about assignments, but there are many different activities that could be graded assignments in Moodle. All those, to be exemplary, should have all the information, including your instruction that got to that assignment. That's what exemplary would be. So that's what, and the other thing was with the effective is that we make sure we add due dates in the assignments. If you just put assignments with no due dates, there's nothing on the student's calendar to remind them when that thing is due. So if we go back just a couple months here in this class, we see all these dates highlighted here for the student, and it would say what things there are due that day. All they have to do is hover over it, and they know what that day entailed. An assignment that's due, a test that's coming up. Let's see if I got, that was during, there we go. There's the test. Oh, I guess the test was on the 9th. They know that that's due. It would come up in their upcoming events. It would show all over Moodle for them so that it's really hard for them to forget. So we consider that effective. Not baseline, effective to put the dates in the assignment, and then exemplary to put all the information you could related to that assignment. Those are the baseline things that we're looking for in Moodle. Table of contents being used, sections being broken up, assignments being effectively put in there so that they know what they are, not just a name, and the use of the calendar and dates so that students can easily find what we're doing right now, because the calendar is the easiest way. If it's the month of April and a student doesn't know what we did, they can just go right there, click on it. There's the instruction. Anything related to that is right there in the calendar. It's almost impossible not to find something if you're looking for it. If it's just down in the course and you missed a week, you may not know exactly where the class is at any given time and what was missed for that class. The other parts of the rubric, I'm not going to go over. They're talking about online communication modules and differentiation in Moodle. Those aren't the basic things. And really this video is about basic Moodle organization and those things, table of contents, setting up your sections well or your topics well, and using the calendar to make it easier for students to navigate around Moodle.